Welcome, my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your 5-card draw. What do I need read for this new moon in Aquarius to a full moon in Leo, January into February 2023. That is a mouthful, isn't it? I'm your reader, Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. Came out 2018. There's a link in the description box if you would like to preview it for free. And you can also preview my Patreon, patreon.com/Drawing the Circle. 8 levels of subscribers over there. Seekers, Humans, Heroes, Witches, Angels, humans, Seekers, Humans, Angels, there are 8 of them. Is a Gemini raid. All of my subscribers get me every morning with an unlisted YouTube live stream link. We chat every morning on what's called a check-in, a daily check-in, regardless of level of subscription. We talk about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a little prayer, a little blessing, a little something to send us on our way. And it's my favorite way to start the day, even though that rhymes. And just a lot of fun over there. They also get all the extendeds, all the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube, past, present, and into the future. And it's lovely. I love it over there. I'm a mystic artist. I'm a spiritual teacher. Been reading tarot since I'm 12. I'm 54. Yeah, I know I don't look at... Thanks. But I love it over there. So if you want the deeper dive, a little bit more magic, miracles, mysticism, and Mal in your life, come Patreon on Patreon. I'm the Archangel of Lyons. Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. And there's some distractions going on in the vibe here. So let's see what that's about. But before we dive in, if you are new to the channel, oh yeah, Mercury's still retrograde and I'm doing a Gemini read, no shit. A 5-card draw is just 5 cards from 5 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about a specific astrological timeline. So therefore not a timeless read, but there is a playlist where you can go back and look at maybe tricky periods of your life and see what was going on. In this case, it is a waxing moon from new to full. The 8-card draws are the shadow reads from full to new, waxing, waning, yeah. To help each and every one of us fulfill our heart's desires. These 5 cards will represent the magical elements, fire, earth, air, water, and spirit, to help you plant a seed at the new and help it bloom, grow, harvest it at full, whatever agricultural language you feel like using, because your heart's desires are part of your role in what you came here to do. That's why you can't get rid of your heart's desires. Believe me, I've tried sex, drugs, rock and roll. The heart's desires are still there. That was a while ago. So, you know, the more each and every one of us manifests our heart's desire, the more this planet heals, right? It's based in love and it's written into our sacred contract, so we might as well help each other out. So cross-watchers, you'll get information about the Gemini you're cross-watching for here, and you'll have some sympathy, some understanding, which is lovely. But if you apply this to your energy field, your manifestational who's-he-what's, your law of attraction, your spell work, whatever you want to call it, then you will manifest something. You will wax something, and you'll be helping the Gemini collective, not just the one you're cross-watching for, do the same, shifting to a more golden rather than leaded timeline, because apparently there's an infinite amount of them, so please don't make me do math. So let's look at this timeline. We're looking at the new moon in Aquarius, Saturday, January 21st, 3:53 p.m. Eastern Time. I am in New York. Now, a new moon in Aquarius is egalitarian, humanitarian. It's how your creativity interacts with the world. Toxic or healthy, right? For wheel, which is good luck, and woe, which is bad luck, right? So that's why I do the shadow reads to prepare you for this. But now this is plant a seed and watch it grow to the full moon in Leo, Sunday, February 5th, 1:29 p.m. And I gotta say, when the moon rides at her peak, then ye heart's desire seek, right? So you plant the seed, you build it. But Sunday, the day of the sun, with Leo ruled by the sun, that's going to be very powerful. But at 1:29 p.m. Eastern, you know, you want to catch the waxing side of that. That's going to be lovely. I'll probably do one of our Patreon live streams, public edition, I call it, on YouTube. I release them every Sunday or other. So in between that, on the 22nd, Uranus is going direct. Uranus is direct, finally. I'm going to leave that one alone for a change. And that isn't yet January 22nd. January 26th, Venus goes into Pisces. Now, I mentioned that in all the readings, but particularly for the mutable signs, right? Gemini, mutable air, Sagittarius, mutable fire, Virgo, mutable earth, and Pisces, mutable water. It's going to create some squares there at some point. So just keep an eye on your relationships, in particular, romantic or otherwise, because it could be interesting. And really, these readings so far have been really lovely. Obviously, this is only the third one of the series, so let's get back, down to business. Doing this during Mercury retrograde is wicked tricky. I'm a Virgo. It's squaring me some way. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do my best to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace to help you manifest your heart's desire, crosswatch or otherwise. So the shift from explanation, which there's a lot of it for the new people, to divination, which is really my skill, it happens in the still point. So please take a nice deep breath. Still point. And here we go. Using the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish for the element of fire. I call to the ancestors of magic, miracles, and mysticism for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crosswatchers watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the spell fragment from the magical spell cards to give them a clue, a tip, a hint to help them refine, right? Clarify their element of fire, their heart's desire, or what might be required to manifest their heart's desire. That was smooth. This beautiful, beautiful January, February. Prosperity. Oh, Proserpina. Persephone. As this tree grows so strong and fine, so may I prosper from the universal divine. Well, there is a bit of surrender into that, right? It's like prosperity comes in many ways, shapes, and forms. Like a prosperity of time could feel like boredom if you're not in the flow with it, and who's always in the flow with anything, right? So as this tree grows strong, so fine. As this tree grows so strong, so fine, so may I prosper from the universal divine. All right. Neat. Now, if prosperity is your heart's desire, you know, again, there's financial prosperity, prosperity of health, you can really apply that to anything. But certainly for planting a seed for the element of fire, we're working at, because that is definitely, oh, she's holding some grapes. That's my girl. Love her. So let's ground that for the element of earth with the Crystal Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. If you have the stone indicated and you want to use it as a magical tool, an amulet, a talisman, amulet away, talisman toward, depends on when you want to push away or draw towards you. A lucky charm, right? Whatever, a gratitude rock, a reminder that you're planting a seed for 2 weeks. You just got to tend it a little bit every day. Let's, oh, and if you don't have the stone, clear quartz does anything, but a piece of jewelry does fine. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. This feels very strong. I call to the beloved Archangel Ariel, my beloved Archangel. I told you this one feels interesting. My beloved Archangel Ariel, Archangel, one of the archangels of the North, powers of Earth, hence the Crystal Oracle. We got cards going in different directions here, so I'll keep my eyes closed. Please, one card in clarity for from the Crystal Oracle. The element of Earth, to fuel that fire and manifest their heart's desire of or in requiring prosperity, this beautiful nudiful. Selenite, worth it. Got slabs of selenite that these cards are sitting on. I got a lot of selenite. Hello, my name is Mark and I'm a selenite addict. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You believe me? I got a lot of it. Magic Moon, Saratoga Springs. Pick that up. So I know this card. Once I read this for myself, before I started doing it with readings, I was into it. And I've actually used what I'm about to read to you. So let's get there. Selenite, telepathy, soul connection, peace, and tranquility. It's possible for you to connect with others energetically on a soul level and infuse them with love and healing. This is telepathic communication in its highest form. Now, we're talking about prosperity from the universal divine. That's love. That's the unifying principle. That's the E that equals MC squared. Love is the answer. But what's the question, right? It's in its highest form. Through the formless light of love, it is possible to both send and receive information, provided the information is sought and sent with love. Well, that'll save some, cell phone minutes. People still do that in minutes. I don't know. They have a decent plan. Remember that on a soul level, time and space do not really exist at because all is interconnected and ultimately one, and that's the immortal soul. Human, hero, immortal, God, right? The ego, the personality, the soul, and the higher self, right? So if your ego's trying to do that, there's so many jokes that just went through my head. I almost got a headache, right? It's not to manipulate. The ego is always going to want something else, right? And the personality has to decide to listen to that voice or the voice of the soul. So look, it's all one. Ask the question in love to the universe telepathically with a piece of selenite, right? The peace and tranquility you seek can be found by connecting to that ultimate oneness. Go within. For in doing so, you will realize that all is eternal. Nothing is ever lost. And that all is eternally present, which means you're one with the very things, if there are things you want prosperity for. Maybe it's creative prosperity, whatever it is, you're one with it. But this is a way of communicating. And by the way, that doesn't just mean telepathically communicating with people in the physical body, or maybe spirits that have never incarnated on planet Earth before, right? Angels and whatnot. So interesting prosperity with selenite. Take it. Element of air, your element. We're using the Healing with the Angels Oracle. The element of air to stoke the fire. Fire can exist without air. Air can exist without fire. So considering it's your element and your heart's desire is prosperity or requires prosperity, then certainly what you do in your mind to telepath, right, that higher oneness telepathy deal. Let's ask the angels who's working with you. Please take a nice deep breath. Nose whistle much. Still point. Well, this feels really high and holy. Okay. I call upon the angels and archangels of air, the sign of Gemini, powers of the east, the Raphaelites, please. One card in clarity for the Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. Who are the angels waiting in the wings with their wings ready to zoom in, because they don't come unless they're invited, because they're nice like that, to help them manifest their heart's desire of or requiring prosperity with that selenite, that unconditional high vibe love, communication, soul connection, this beautiful, beautiful January, February 2023, new love. Now here's the thing. Mercury will be direct before this reading, before the new moon. It's happening relatively soon. I think it's the 18th. So, if this is a comeback around, once this happens, maybe it is, maybe it's not. But what would the healing angels of new love do? Well, they would heal you for new love, or they would bring you a new love that is healing. Need that be romantic? Maybe, maybe not. This could be about anything. But I think if it's a new love that helps inspire this prosperity coming from that higher vibe, right? Not just greed and gluttony. Let's bring two of the seven deadly sins into that one. No, it's not that. This is about the healing angels. That's the question to contemplate. What would their function be? Like, what a plumber does, essentially, right? The plumber doesn't come and, vacuum your house, right? So contemplate that. Think about that. And maybe call to them, because they don't come unless they're called. That's The universal law of non-intervention, and those that break it tend not to do well. Just saying. Let's look at the element of water, shall we? The emotional part of this, right? When the moon rides at her peak, then ye heart's desire seek. Well, the heart is a heart chakra is the emotional power one. So let's ask the higher selves of all involved what the whisper of love is, and be prepared. This one often turns the party in a completely different direction. Please take a nice deep breath. Angela Hartfield, love her work. Still point. All right, a call to the higher selves of all involved. What's that about? Fifth dimension and above. Eighth chakra and above. Oh, what is the whisper of love? The piece of information, inspiration, insight needed for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. The love that is the divine power, the element of water, the energy and motion we experience as emotion that, you know, what is your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power to help them manifest this prosperity, their heart's desire with that selenite vibe and the healing angels and new love, this beautiful, beautiful. Ask for help. Well, gee, who would you be asking for help? If you don't want to talk to anybody on the horizontal, go vertical. Ask for help. What is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need. Well, there you go. And you might be of two minds about this, by the way. You got two angels on the card. Are they twins? Well, one looks like a blonde, one looks like a strawberry blonde. Let's just say yes. So asking for help is a tricky thing, right? That's why, you know, I pray every day. Even before every reading I do, like that much. And the prayer is usually, I don't know, use me. Let's do this. Work, right? So you can be very, very simple about it. But being a Gemini, you can also be as verbose as you like. It's a good word, verbose. Right? You can be as verbal as you want to be on this. But asking for help and telepathically to other people, sending and receiving information in a new way, in a new love, to bring prosperity in whatever way you want it, what your heart desires there. It's pretty good. I like this. I love the 5-card draws. They're faster, but because they're waxing, they tend to be more fun. However, we got one more card left. The Macon Healing Mantra Deck. It's brilliant. The card of spirit in this 5-card draw to juice it up, right? To flick on the energy, right? To flick the switch and charge it a little bit every day. Let's ask the Ascended Masters, I don't know, of what? Let's do General Assembly because prosperity is a little too wide of a berth to focus in on in a general read. Please take a nice deep breath. Stop. All right. I call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly. Please, one card in clarity, the perfect healing mantra for the Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video, particularly because Gemini can really take that mutable element of air and really, really work a mantra and make big changes in a relatively short amount of time, depending on, you know, what is required here for them to manifest this prosperity in their heart's desire with that telepathy, oneness, soul connection, sending and receiving love-based unconditional love information with selenite, calling in the healing angels a new love, which would be helpful to help them learn how to do that, because who nails it day one? And obviously asking for help would be helpful. So what do you got for the perfect healing mantra? Bring this all together, find a piece of the puzzle this new to full January, February. Dispelling sadness, I will feel better once I get the rest I need. Oh, I'm going to read it from the bookie book. But certainly, if this is financial and you're feeling burnt out, waxing moon is a time, yes, you build your energy. But in order to feel better, which would be, let's say, an increase in your vibration, a raising of your vibration, sometimes you have to go in the opposite direction in terms of rest, instead of being so active. And all of this is on the inner. Right? Selenite, named from the Greek titan of the moon, Selene, right? So it is a moonish stone. It's not a moonstone. It's a different molecular geometric whoosy-whatses. But certainly this is a power read in terms of you manifesting whatever prosperity that is, maybe not by asking help from people around you in the horizontal plane, but going higher on that and then learning how to do this to receive the inspiration rather than the opinions. Right? Because you ask people who love you, they're going to say, oh, but that's really risky. No, don't do that. And meanwhile, it might be exactly what you need to do. The angels are pretty fearless, but if you invite them in, they will help. So, let's read this from the bookie book. Dispelling Sadness, practically turned right to it. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. When sadness dissolves, you're able to acknowledge upheavals of emotion as profound healings taking place. So even if you're dealing with somebody else who's really sad, and, you know, sending them love and information, right, however that's playing themselves out, rest is really key to this. When the nervous system gets overwhelmed, inflamed, exaggerated, it's seeing through a lens darkly. Yeah, I just gave you a New Testament. I'm a witch. Just cope with it. But this is really key. As a result, you are inspired to give your body the rest and rejuvenation it needs rather than to push yourself into states of imbalance. Hello, that's why I took a week off. I haven't taken a week off in a long time. As you dissolve sadness, you become aware of the vital role downtime plays in helping you recharge your energy field. Hello, I would not be able to do this if I was not real. I've worked this mantra a lot. This mantra is ideal for dealing with depression, fighting against time. Anything ruled by Mercury. We're in Virgo, Gemini. We fight against time usually. And learning how to relax. Look, this is so something that we see in the world, right? Sadness, instead of escapism, right? Oh, I'm feeling sad. Quick, let's distract ourselves. Look over there, right? No, it's okay. It's okay to say, you know what? I'm going to learn how to love myself, but I'm going to ask for help to do that. And as a result, give and receive some information here about my prosperity by dispelling sadness. Now, as much as I summed that up right there, we're going to do what's called a blessimation. One of my patrons came up with it. It's a blessing and a summation all at the same time, and after the end of that, you want to hang out, we chat a little bit about readings and stuff like that. So please take a nice deep breath. Nose whistle. Keeping it light. Still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Signs, and Crosswatchers watching this video and receiving this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need to manifest their heart's desire by dispelling sadness, because they will feel better once they get they will feel better once they get the rest they need. And by asking for help, inner, outer, this way, that way, general statement to the world, particularly asking the healing angels of new love to swoop in and help them love in new ways and maybe prepare them for a new love. And maybe this is romantic with that Selenite card of that telepathy, but that unconditional love-based telepathy, connecting from soul to soul, not ego to ego, in order for them to manifest whatever kind of prosperity this may be. So, breathe. As this tree grows so strong, so fine, so may they prosper from the universal divine, for the well-being of all, with harm to none. As we will it. So let it be done. So motivate. And so it is. There you go. Selenite's easy to find. You don't got to break the bank for it. And, you know, like I said, quartz will do anything but have at it. I really, really like this reading for you. And if you liked it, hit the thumbs up. Takes 2 seconds to do. Helps other people find the read. Want more of me here on YouTube? Subscribe if you like. Notification bell, you know, standard YouTube stuff if you want to. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link in the description box. A video I made year before last, booking a reading with Mal, explains everything you ever wanted to know about booking a reading with Mal, but we're afraid to ask. I got clients all over the world now, so give me a minute, I'll get you booked if you want it. But if you want me every day, because I'm due, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, come play Patreon. Patreon. It is my joy, my passion, my Patreon. I love it so very much, and I do hope you will check it out, because, you know, 8 levels: Seekers, Humans, Heroes, Angels, Witches, Immortals, Mystics, Gods, Goddesses. Gods, Goddesses is the top tier. The Seeker, $3, gets you the dailies and the extendeds. Everybody gets those. Gods, Goddesses get everything, $20 a month. So if you want to support me in my work, or if you really want a deeper dive, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm so glad to be doing it this way. Otherwise, let's talk about what's really important real quick. I love you. You can do this. Whatever your heart's desires are, they are a benefit. Your happiness is a service to all of life, and that's true for all of us. So go for it. Reach out, get the help you need, and I believe in you. I love you. Hang in there. Heal. Hail. Farewell. And blessed, blessed be.